Well, hi there, Jose Quiñones, the CNC Dude here with question number 3. But before I go into the question, guys, let me thank you for all of the input that you have supplied in helping me figure out how to fix the spindle. I think I have been able to take it to very, let's say, usable state. Is it the same as a factory spindle? Boy, I don't know. But I am measuring very good stuff. The runout is like a tenth of a thousandth. Very little vibrations coming from the motor. Heat is not going up. So, I mean, it's going up, but what I would expect for it to be going up. So I think the spindle is as good as I'm gonna be able to get it without factory equipment or even more knowledge. I thought of playing more with the preload, which was the root cause of all of my problems on question number 2. So that definitely took it from horrendous to gorgeous. But I must admit that it is possible that it is not 100% perfect. In which case, what I would expect to see is that the life of the ball bearings are going to be reduced by some percentage, and I really don't know what that percentage is. But I don't think it's going to be, I don't think I'm going to be having to be changing the ball bearings in a long time. So, you know, if the ball bearings were supposed to last 10 years, maybe now they're going to last 9 years or 9 years and a half. You know, it depends on how much you use it, conditions and stuff. But the runout is gorgeous. Vibrations and heat, they look just like when I compare to my other machine, very similar. That brings me to the question of today, because as I was comparing the machines, I noticed a huge difference, okay? And that's basically the question of the day. What I noticed was that as I was running my spindle on this machine at the same speed on my first machine, the new machine has or is running at twice the speed. Okay, so in other words, if I operate machine number 1 at 250 RPM and I use a tachometer like this cheapo guy from Harbor Freight, I get 250 RPM. But if I do the same on this machine, I run at 250, I get 500. Clearly, that tells me that the previous owner wanted to run the spindle at twice the speed, and they somehow tricked the VFD into adding a factor of 2. I wasn't even aware you could do that, although it doesn't surprise me that the VFD has a setting where you can, you know, fuzz it out and make it work at a different set of parameters. That doesn't surprise me one bit. So my question is, what do you guys think about that? I mean, this spindle was designed to work from like 100 to 5,000 RPM, but now it is being run at basically 200 to 10,000. Can the spindle take it? That's the first question I have, and that question is only, you know, it's not that I don't want to use it like that, okay? I don't want to go at twice the speed, rated speed. To me, that doesn't make any sense. I don't have any need. I know that the higher speed, the better finishing and different things you can do. And I know that Tormax sells a high-speed spindle. So that is great, but I am not looking for that feature. So I would not want to configure this machine to operate like that. But I'm still intrigued on what your thoughts are. But my real question is, how do I bring it back to conventional speed? I did a comparison on both modules, on both Emerson VFDs, and I noticed that there were a couple of values that were not the same. In fact, one of the values, I think it was 65, but I cannot remember. One of those values was twice, roughly twice the size in here than on the first machine. So I'm thinking that is probably the place to look at. Before I start making changes though, I mean, I have to look at the manual to make sure that that value is in fact the value that needs to be modified. but also I need to make sure that there's nothing else that I'm missing here. I mean, it could be something in Mach 3, although I don't recall doing anything on Mach 3. I have already checked the belts a gazillion times. I know it's not the belts. I know it's not the configuration on high speed versus low speed on Mach 3. That is just the same as I have it here, identical. So pretty much all of the configuration that is straightforward, like the belt position and the setting on Mach 3 on the first dialog, that is the same, but I am getting twice the speed of the Spindle. I'm thinking, by the way, that's what cooked the ball bearings in here. They were running this twice as fast, and you know, heat went up, the grease got you know, basically you change the properties of the grease, so now you're dealing on some other region that is not what the Spindle was meant to do. So it doesn't surprise me one bit. That was the root cause of this problem, but no biggie, because I have been able to repair it. So now we're back to normal, but I have to make sure that this guy is operating as intended from 100 to 5,000. And you know, my reasoning is simple. You may be thinking, oh, you can change that in CAM, you can have a program that you know, instead of using 5,000, use 2,500. Yeah, but now I need two programs. Like if I want to use both machines at the same time, I need one program for this guy, one program for this guy. It's kind of, I would rather not. Like I said, I don't need 10,000 RPM, so I would rather just bring it back. So I guess the real question is, how do I do that without having to tamper dangerously with the VFD? You know, obviously I am positive it can be done. I am not afraid of doing the changes that need be. I also read on one application note, I think it was for the peak meter, and I know that Series 3 machines are ready with the, they come with the peak meter, the power meter, I'm sorry. But if you want to add a power meter to the Series 2, there is an add-on that Tormax sells for 200, and they give you a memory stick that you plug in into the VFD to make some changes. So I wonder if that's a possibility, to go back to Tormax, say, hey, can I buy the little module to bring this machine back to its default state. Another possibility would be to do some kind of refresh on the module and go back to manufacturing default, but that could take me to Emerson's factory defaults, which is not necessarily what Tormax wants to be the factory default. So I don't know, that's what I'm asking. What kind of experience you guys have with that? Have you guys tampered with the VFD, made changes, customizations? What input can you offer? I really appreciate the input that you guys provide, because it's so enlightening, and hopefully we can all benefit from these questions and answers. So thank you for watching this video. Thanks in advance for any input you may offer, and I'll see you on the next one.